Today we did get new legit Hogwarts Legacy gameplay footage from people in the actual community playing the game. We are going to be going over some footage from Wizard PhD, so shout out to Professor Lynette. Her channel will be linked in the description, so go check her out please. I am Jay with Galleon Gaming, and let's get right into the action, man. The first thing I want to go over is how absolutely stunning everything looks. As a huge Harry Potter fan, I cannot wait to go exploring everywhere possible and see all the random students in the castle and the different interactions that are going on. I mean, look at Peeves here being an absolute menace as usual. There seems to be so many different things to interact with and do, just from observing the beautiful castle and surroundings to finding these different statues that we need to cast spells on to complete them, and to use an Accio and requiring all these pesky flying field guide pages. I could not be more excited to get my hands on the game on February 7th since I did pre-order the deluxe edition. Next, we do need to go over these little loading circles we see here when approaching certain doors and perhaps areas that seem to keep the game from progressing until they load. I'm actually a big fan of this since the castle is so big it makes sense it might only load full details etc. on certain parts of the castle at a time, and to avoid getting put into a loading screen, I'm a fan of letting us remain present in the game looking around for what seems to be just a couple seconds until we are able to move on to the next area. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this method. Would you prefer being tossed into a loading screen for a few seconds, or do you like the idea of just waiting for the door to be able to be opened? Also, if you could leave a like on the video if you're enjoying it, I would appreciate it as it does help the video get pushed out. So as you see here for a brief second, the little white circle popping up in the middle of the screen, it does seem like we are going to be able to free aim our spells, etc. Though I'm uncertain at this time what that could be used for, but I'm definitely excited to see how this plays out once we get into the game. Perhaps we'll be able to stun some enemies from a distance while we're in stealth? I don't know, man. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Take a look here at the different color changes while Professor Lynette was talking to this NPC for a quest. I want to make sure to share the good and the bad that I notice about the game, and this definitely looks like it gets way too dark and bright and just doesn't look natural at all as it changes camera views, so hopefully this will be fixed as soon as possible. Also, as we see here, flying on a broom looks pretty amazing. However, there's a couple things I noticed. Sadly, it does seem that we will not be able to land on the outside of Hogwarts in that many places. The Professor Lynette did say that she was told there are places you can land. However, as we see, she did not find any of them. She does mention that broom flying was a little shaky, but she wasn't sure if that was just her being level 2 or if the wind or environment plays a factor while on a broom, which in my opinion would be super cool and realistic if our broom flying experience is altered depending on the rain and wind, etc. and different aspects of the environment. Next up, we do get to see some action on a quest, which does look pretty cool. As you see, the game does slow you down if there are points in the quest they want you to listen to or make sure you see happening, so hopefully you won't miss out anything important while doing a quest. Now, sad to say, it does seem we will not be able to wander too much in a quest like this, as you see this huge red notice telling you we need to get back to Poppy as soon as possible, which is certainly a little off-putting as we're not even that far away from her, but hopefully this will only be in certain quests when following somebody, etc. But either way, we can do most of our exploring when not in the quest since this is a huge open world game. One other cool thing to note is take a look at this Doug Bob jump out of the water and eat that poor little creature. I'm curious to know if this will happen just randomly as we are exploring the world, or if this was a specific event set to happen during this specific quest. I hope we get to see this just happen randomly as well while we're out in the world. Now let's get into some combat. I think it's very cool to see some combat from someone who has not been working on this game, doing gameplay and the combat mechanics for years, so we can get an accurate representation of how it's going to be. To me, it looks like there will definitely be a bit of a learning curve figuring out which spells to combo together and get used to their different cooldown times, etc., which is very exciting to me. I do like a game I can continue to get better at as I progress through the gameplay, and not one where I just have it completely down right when I jump in at the beginning, or also a game where you can't constantly just button mash through the entire game. And boy oh boy, as you see Lynette here, it does look like button mashing is not the wave in this game. So let's sum everything up, man. I have been waiting and waiting to see some gameplay from some of these people who get early access just to get a better feel for what the game is going to be like starting off for us, just getting the game coming up in a couple weeks, and it's finally here. I am very excited from what I have seen, and I cannot wait to get my hands on this game and start figuring everything out. All in all, it says good things that WB Games is bringing people out to play the game before release, as it shows they are proud of their game, and it looks phenomenal to me, and I just can't wait to play it, man. That is all we have today. I'm Jay with Galleon Gaming. Please subscribe and like for future Hogwarts Legacy content. Y'all have a great one. Click the video on screen to get a full breakdown of getting started into Hogwarts Legacy.